Channel FLCDP. Summary of the gorilla in the guest room. The author is sincere in his efforts to save endangered species and conserve wildlife, and hence establishes a zoo. To equip the zoo with animals and create their natural habitat and tend to their needs is a mammoth step towards the preservation of wildlife. It was at this point that he received an offer from an animal dealer asking him if he wanted a gorilla. The author's priority was to get a gorilla, so he and Pongo no time to ring the dealer, who demanded £1,200 for the baby gorilla. His wife Jakey was against the idea of spending such a huge amount on the purchase of the gorilla. The author contacted his banker friend, Hope, who too disapproved of the deal. The author, however, had faith the people would contribute generously towards the purchase of the gorilla. He was able to collect just £200 by contacting a few people. Major Domo, when contacted by the author, agreed to fund the remaining £1,000. This gave a huge relief to the author in his mission to buy the baby gorilla. The day when he was able to fly to London to procure the gorilla from the Royal Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals was one of great excitement for him. The dealer handed over the crate in which Npongo was being kept to the author, and thus the baby gorilla, Npongo, came into his life. The baby gorilla was about 18 inches high and quite healthy and handsome. He was heavy for his size, with solid bone and muscle. His fur was soft and light chocolate in color, while the skin on his hands, feet and face was soft and glossy. His eyes were small and deep-set and shone with amusement when the author tickled him in his ribs. The author gave him a banana, and then put him back into the cage before catching the plane to Jersey. The cage for Npongo in the zoo was not ready, so the author decided to keep him in the guest room. The grave, courteous manner and sad expression on Npongo's face soon won over the author's wife and mother. The author had learned his lesson from the unpleasant experience when he had kept Chumley the chimpanzee in the house, so he was cautious, although Npongo had charmed him by his gentle behavior. Urged the author, in spite of the courteous behavior of Npongo, did not expect the baby gorilla to assume civilized behavior just because he was residing in the house. The guest bedroom bore numerous traces of Npongo's presence there, and looked like a 16th century alehouse, months after Npongo had departed. The handle of the door had been pulled and bent, while the walls bore several marks of discoloration. Npongo soon became a favorite at the zoo because of his gentle disposition, good manners and a well-developed sense of humor. He never showed hysterics at being locked up in a cage. Although he deplored it, yet he accepted peacefully the necessity of being locked up. He was amusing with the visitors, and once pulled someone's leg and caused him a slip disc.